So, a bit of a funny story. Maybe about a year ago, I ended up going to the reserve. It's a native reserve near my hometown, and we generally go there to buy cigarettes at cheaper prices. Because I don't know about everyone else, but I can't afford to smoke cigarettes that cost market value, so I go to the reserve. And on that particular day, I ended up bringing my two dogs with me. I dropped off my fiance at work and then head to the reserve. So head over there, go to the reserve, the actual specific store that we usually go to. Went there and leave the dogs in the back. The general rule is I'll leave the rear windows down and the front windows up so that the dogs don't try to jump in the front seat because they're big dogs. They generally fuck shit up. So didn't do that. Then when we leave, I throw the cigarettes in the back of the vehicle, and as we're leaving, there's a res dog. This little yippy dog. I mean, my dogs together, I have a Rottweiler and an Alaskan Malamute, together weigh around 300 pounds. Big dogs. But this little yippy dog was running and jumping at my vehicle, scratching the side of my paint. Not a huge deal. I didn't really care too much. But this dog wouldn't stop. And I'm trying to obey by the speed limits on the reserve, so I keep on continuing at the same speed. And it keeps on doing it. My dogs are freaking out, barking at the dog. And I thought, you know what? This might be a great thing. Maybe what we're going to do here is I'm going to pull over at the native complex across the street, open the rear door, and show the dog that, okay, this isn't a good thing. You shouldn't do this. My dogs are not violent. They're not. But they're definitely going to run at the dog and try to meet him. So, pulling over at the native complex, my dogs jump out as I open the door, reach my left hand back, and reach around the seat and open the door. They run at the dog. The dog takes off yipping. I'm like, well, this is fun. This is kind of cool. So, whatever. So I just follow behind slowly. And they're not going to hurt this dog. There's no fucking way. They're just trying to get close to it, and the dog is yipping like crazy. I thought I was teaching it a lesson, giving it a good life lesson. It ends up running up to a house and yipping at the door. As I pull in, I'm going to call my dogs back because the dog's obviously at its door, trying to get some kind of salvation for my big dogs that are just following it. So it's a blue house, and the guy opens the door and starts fucking yelling. And another guy gets over the door, and he has a shotgun in his hand. It's a double barrel. I want to say 12 gauge. I don't know guns that well, but it has that. He never really pointed at the dogs, but I got out and okay, whoa, sorry. I'll get my dogs back. They weren't gonna attack, whatever else. And the guy kind of looks at me, and it gets a little bit heated. And the guy's like, your dog can't come after my dogs. Sorry, your dogs cannot come after my dog. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll load them back up. And then he says something to the effect of, I'll shoot your fucking dog. And my Rottweiler, which is at my side, seeing me get very, very, very aggressive, and then he started snarling. And then the gun kind of came up a little. I said, listen, motherfucker, if you shoot my fucking dog, I will kill you and everyone in your fucking household. That kind of calmed things down a bit, and everyone just kind of went silent, and I grabbed my dogs, loaded them back on the vehicle, and drove back home. And that's the way that went down.